Right now at noon, a Southeast Kansas Fire Department receives more than 2,000 units of critical supplies.
And we have an alert day today. Heat alerts in place. Dangerous heat index values up to 108 for some of us. We'll have a look at that forecast coming up.
Plus, the city of Joplin dedicates a juvenile justice center to a former Joplin mayor.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
We have an alert day today as hot temperatures return to the area. This is KOAM News at noon. I'm Elise Snowy. Let's go straight to Chris Warner for a look at the forecast.
Yeah, we definitely have to deal with some heat already heating up out there. Most of us at or very close to 90 degrees at the noon hour. Just a few overhead clouds, otherwise ample sunshine, and our B is back here on our camera on the Cornell Complex downtown Joplin. Head over to Kansas. Again, ample sunshine there south of Pittsburgh. KDOT camera 69 and Kansas Crossing. So as mentioned, we have heat advisories across the entire area. So for most of us, we're looking at heat index values today, 105 to 108 degrees. However, Nowata and Washington counties, you have excessive heat warnings in place, and your heat index values could reach up to 112 degrees out there. Made it up to 84 yesterday, so below normal. We stayed below normal, and the rain and cloud cover really helped with that. We have more rain on the way, but unfortunately, it's not going to do much for our temperatures. We'll talk about that here in a moment. Already now at 92 in Joplin, 91 in Pittsburgh. Temperatures across the region. Again, where we had some of that cloud cover, look at Stockton sitting at 81, but the rest of us low to mid 90s already. And we're on our way to highs in the mid 90s and upper 90s across the area. Now, even though we have storms coming in, it won't be until well into the overnight hours after about 2 a.m. So we're still clear ahead of that and into the low 80s by midnight. Another very mild evening ahead of us. Some of the storms, though, that we have in our future could be strong, potentially severe. We're going to break down those details for you in the full forecast here in just a few more minutes. Elise?
All right, we'll see you soon, Chris. Well, the Missouri Supreme Court sets an execution date for a man convicted of raping and murdering a 9-year-old girl in southwest Missouri. In 2012, a jury convicted Christopher Collings of the 2007 abduction, rape, and murder of Rowan Ford of Stella, Missouri. Investigators say Collings threw Ford's body into a sinkhole in McDonald County. The Supreme Court yesterday set his execution for December 3rd. The former Kansas police chief who instigated the 2023 raid against a newspaper is facing legal action. Gideon Cody is charged with a single count of interfering with the judicial process. He's accused of forcing a witness to withhold information in a felony case. That's according to a criminal complaint in Marion County District Court. Monday's announcement comes almost exactly a year after authorities allege Cody ordered officers to execute search warrants at the Marion County Record, the home of the paper's publisher and the home of an area councilwoman. The Columbus Police Department announces some changes. According to the Columbus Police Department's Facebook page, Preston Hosier is being promoted to police sergeant, and Arlo Luke will become the new school resource officer. Hosier has recently taken the lead in the department's field training officer program and played a key role in implementing the department's wide TASER modernization initiative. Luke brings 5 years of diverse experience to his new role, including animal control officer, police officer, and code enforcement official. Well, the Nevada, Missouri Fire Department announces a brand new fire chief. Captain Taylor McClintock has been promoted to the top spot. McClintock has worked for Nevada for 15 years, and the department announced the promotion yesterday on its Facebook page. Well, community members gathered yesterday in Joplin for the dedication of the Senator Ron Richard Juvenile Justice Center. The facility opened in 2019 and provides short-term detention for young people waiting for a detention hearing, placement with youth services, or release to legal guardians. The Juvenile Justice Center is now named in honor of former Joplin Mayor and Missouri Senator Ron Richard, who died in June 2023.
He would be very upset with each and every one of us if he knew we were doing this today, but that's what makes it more fun, is doing something that he helped so many of us, and this is our way of letting him know that we appreciate everything he did for us.
Joplin County officials say the facility was designed with the ultimate goal of diverting young people out of detention. Well, the Frontenac Fire Department receives more than 2,300 cans of emergency drinking water. The donation stems from a partnership between National Volunteer Fire Council, Anheuser-Busch, and Eagle Beverage. The donation is a part of a nationwide effort, as we mentioned. With the summer heat, water and cooling resources are crucial for the first responders.
We do pack coolers, especially when it gets hot like it's going to be today. We do take coolers. The guys are obviously in a hot situation with a lot of gear on, so greatly appreciated from them.
The Neosho Township Fire Department and Galesburg Volunteer Fire Department also received a donation of emergency water this past week. Well, it's time for students to start heading back to school, and for some districts in the area, and that will happen next week. But for kids in Frontenac, today was the day to finally head back to the classroom. And with the return of school comes the return of busier roadways in the morning and afternoon. The Frontenac Police Department is encouraging drivers to slow down ahead of school zones and to practice safe driving as a reminder for the beginning of the school year. And it may not be Halloween, but students in Baxter Springs had a spooky back-to-school send-off yesterday. Not even rain could stop Skeleton and Skeleton Jr. from getting set up and ready to wish students and teachers a happy school year. The 12-foot-tall skeleton is ready to take to the classroom with his giant pencil, happy to show students that school isn't something to fear. And they have a note to students and teachers wishing them good luck and encouraging them to make this year their best year. With school just around the corner for students in CJ, the Carl Junction Area Chamber of Commerce yesterday held a back-to-school block party. Food trucks, games, and music were available for the community to enjoy. Kids of all ages were encouraged to attend to have a little fun before school starts.
I think this is a great way to bring members of the community to the schools on these open house nights. We're kind of having a marriage between this community and the schools, which is great to see. It brings a lot of energy and excitement to the beginning of the school year. So we have kids who have met their teachers and now they come out here and they're having a fun time. So it's really a great positive way to start the school year.
There were also giveaways for people who attended. Well, coming up, Missouri voters will get to weigh in on a constitutional amendment concerning abortion rights. And later, we're making summer's best chilled corn soup in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. A couple of proposed Missouri constitutional amendments cleared a hurdle yesterday to appear on the November ballot. One of those amendments concerns abortion. KOAM's Melissa Alexis has more.
Missourians will vote on a constitutional amendment that would reverse the current near-total abortion ban back to the rules established by Roe v. Wade. The Secretary of State's office declared that a petition received enough signatures to be included in the election. If the amendment receives a majority vote, it would allow abortion until fetal viability, which is around 24 weeks when a fetus could survive outside the uterus. If passed, Missouri would become the first state to reverse their abortion ban. Currently, abortions are only allowed in the case of a medical emergency. Missouri is one of at least 6 states that will vote on abortion this November.
That was KOAM's Melissa Alexis. Now, there's 2 other initiatives on the Missouri ballot for November 5th. One is Constitutional Amendment 2, and voters will decide whether to legalize sports betting in Missouri. The other will be on your ballot as Proposition A. If passed, it would increase the Missouri minimum wage to $13.75 an hour in 2025 and to $15 per hour in 2026. It would also require all employers to provide 1 hour of paid sick leave for every 30 hours of work. And if you plan to vote in November, now is the time to register. Take a look. These are the deadlines to register for November 5th. Missouri has the first cutoff for registration in our area. That's October 9th. In Oklahoma, you have until October 11th. And in Kansas, it's October 15th. Well, still to come on KOAM News at noon, Mr. Food.
When fresh corn on the cob is at its peak, we have a recipe that'll turn it into liquid gold. It's easy.
And we're tracking the dangerous heat continuing for the next several days and those thunderstorms. We'll have a look at your forecast when we come back. Welcome back to the KOAM News at noon. So dangerous heat is the reason for our alert day today. We are looking at this heat continuing for the next several days across the area. So quick reminder, we do have the heat advisories for most of the area through this evening. Heat index values 105 to 108 in those areas. And then we have the excessive heat warnings, Nevada and Washington counties, where heat index values can easily reach up to 112. Then we've got the threat for some thunderstorms. Now again, we discussed this in the mornings, but day one from our friends in Norman at the Storm Prediction Center actually can carry into the overnight hours and the very early morning hours of the next day. So this isn't for today. This is going to be for tonight and into early tomorrow morning, where we have a risk, at least a low risk, for perhaps some hail and gusty winds out there with thunderstorms that'll be moving in after, say, 2 o'clock in the morning. Through the day today, though, as we head into the rest of the evening and afternoon, as you can see, there is nothing out there other than a stray cloud or two, and of course the heat to contend with, and we'll have that south breeze gusting upwards of about 20-25 miles an hour. Here we are now at 2 a.m. and take a look at our northwestern counties. And where exactly was that severe threat, or the low wind risk at least, highlighted? Well, it was highlighted roughly right where we're going to start to see some showers and storms overnight tonight. Now they're going to begin to die out, but there will be just enough energy that they could leave behind a few isolated to widely scattered showers and storms through the first part of our Thursday. And then as we head later into the day, we're going to see redevelopment take place after about 4, closer to 5. And that's going to give us another potential round of strong to severe thunderstorms, with once again large hail and strong damaging winds being the primary concern as we go through the evening and into the early overnight hours on Friday. Then we get into our Friday, and some data has changed. We talked about this morning as well. There's some conflict on exactly how storms are going to play out on Friday. Initially, we were looking at better chances of pop-up storms and maybe an organized thunderstorm complex in the southern half of our area by the late day. Some new data's come in, and of course this is still a couple of days out. It's going to change another dozen times, but it's now moving a new thunderstorm complex into the area a little earlier in the afternoon on Friday, and so we'll keep an eye on that. Right now, still no severe threat highlighted for Friday, but we are still looking at that wave of thunderstorms and then some potential additional redevelopment taking place back behind that through the late evening hours and all the way into very early Saturday morning. So again, this is new information. There's no severe threat highlighted for Friday as of yet, but we'll keep an eye on it for you, of course. We have that low wind risk again overnight tonight. Tomorrow, we have a low to elevated risk across the region for strong to severe thunderstorms, and this is going to be more so with any activity we see in the late evening and early overnight hours in Thursday. And then again, Friday at this point, no severe areas highlighted, but we will keep an eye on that for you. Take a look at these temperatures. I know you don't want to, and if you're staying inside, at least you'll have another good reason to stay inside once you see this. We're still a little cooler. Stockton at 81. There was that rain this morning, some cloud cover. It's kept them a little cooler. The rest of us are already into the low to mid 90s. You factor in dew point and humidity. Take a look at these heat index values. Upper 90s, low 100s, up to 105, 106 already is what it feels like in the water. So a very hot day, and we're not quite at peak heating yet. We're going to reach highs once again, upper 90s for most of us. Those heat index values again for most of us about 108 degrees out there. Again, tonight we're initially clear, and then we'll have those storms building in after about 2 a.m. We'll fall back into the upper 70s, and the south breeze at about 5 to 10. Keeping an eye on the scattered thunderstorm chances, the periods of showers and storms on our Thursday, and otherwise still hot. The rain won't do much for us at all in terms of those temperatures. We'll still be in the mid to upper 90s. Southwest breeze occasionally gusting upwards of 25. We could see a few pop-up storms on Sunday. Outside of that, Monday, our coolest day at this point at 94. Every other day over the next 10 days, mid to upper 90s and getting close to 100 toward the end of next week. So we're going to be dealing with this heat for quite some time. August really settling in, but at least here and there, we're getting some much needed rain as well.
Absolutely. The only thing with that is the humidity that comes with it.
Yes, yeah, that's going to be the problem.
Absolutely. All right. Thanks, Chris. Well, stick around. We're making summer's best chilled corn soup in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen. We'll be right back. Howard is sharing his recipe for his summer's best chilled corn soup in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
It won't be too long before our markets are bursting with fresh corn on the cob. And that means we'll be finding it at some of the best prices of the year. So here's an idea. Pick up a few extra ears so you can try the chilled soup that we just came up with. It's perfect for serving all summer long. The first thing we want to do is remove the husk and silk from 4 large ears of corn. Then we cut off the kernels with a chef's knife or a corn stripper, like I have here. This goes into a blender along with a drained can of cannellini beans, a cut up yellow pepper, a bit of sweet onion, a little sugar, salt and pepper, a splash of lime juice, and to give this its creaminess, some milk. The top goes on and we blend this until it's silky smooth, which takes no time at all. After this chills for a bit, pour it into bowls and maybe top each serving with a dollop of sour cream and cilantro before grabbing a spoon. A few crackers on the side and you'll be ready to enjoy. To get the recipe for our summer's best chilled corn soup, simply visit our website. I'm Howard with Kelly in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen, where today we found a super refreshing way for you to say, ooh, it's so good. Kelly.
You can find this recipe along with a lot more good food from the Mr. Food Test Kitchen online. Just go to our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Now here's a look at the 4-state market prices.
All right, we have the alert day today. Heat advisories in place. Heat index values as high as 108 for most of us, and temperatures upper 90s. The heat continues for the next several days, upper 90s. Watching the possibility of some strong storms tomorrow morning and then strong to severe storms tomorrow evening, and a few thunderstorms possible Friday and Sunday out there. So a lot to keep an eye on. Some much needed rain on the way. We just don't need that severe threat to go with it. And again, unfortunately, other than Monday, the coolest day at 94, that's not looking too good either.
No, it's not sound fun. All right, thanks, Chris. And Dow, what do you have for us tonight?
Lots coming up at 5. For starters, August is recognized as Children's Eye Health and Safety Month, highlighting the importance of children's vision, their eye health. We're going to take a look at why eye exams should be on the back-to-school checklist for children. Plus, we'll take a look at the 100 deadliest days, a period that represents the highest likelihood of fatal crashes, especially for teen drivers. And customers of Liberty Utilities in Joplin have some frustrations over apparently not being able to access their electric usage and bill statements for the month of July. Hope you'll join us for those stories. A lot more, of course. It's coming up today. KOAM News at 5.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dow. And that's the news for now. Thank you for joining us on KOAM News at noon. We'll see you right back here at 5. Until then, have a great rest of your day.